Camera on. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Welcome to the Mo Hill Show. Welcome to the Mo Hill. Mo Hill knows. Mo Hill knows development. Mo knows senior issues. Mo knows stable taxes. Mo knows. I don't hear anything coming from my computer. Whoa! Hold on. I thought I heard something.
There it is.
There we go. All right, I think we got it.
All right.
Oh.
Let's mic them up. Thank you for enjoying this audio test before the main program, which will begin in approximately 5 minutes. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Mo Hill. I'm running for mayor of Toms River on the Republican ticket, row A. You can count on me to preserve the quality of life in Toms River. We're going to look to preserve open space in Toms River. We're also going to strictly enforce all our building and zoning codes. And we're going to look to keep taxes low with shared services and increased efficiencies in Town Hall.
I'm getting. Okay. Good afternoon. My name's Mo Hill. I'm running for mayor of Toms River. I'm on the Republican ticket. I've lived in Ocean County all my life. I grew up in Lakewood, graduated from Lakewood High School, went to Rutgers University. I attended the University of Medicine and Dentistry, New Jersey. As a freshman in dental school, I joined the Navy in the 1925 program as an ensign. I went on active duty in February of 1973, and I was on active duty till 75 for 2 years. I spent time up in Newport, Rhode Island. I finished up at Lakehurst Naval Air Station, and now it's the Joint Base. Stayed in the reserves, continued that service for 35 years. I was mobilized in Desert Storm for 3 months, assigned to Philadelphia Navy Hospital, and I finally retired in 2005 at the rank of Rear Admiral Upper Half 08. That's the highest permanent rank that a military officer can hold. Any rank above that, 3 or 4 star, is by position only. So your only permanent rank is 08. You can hold 09 and 010 by position only. And if you retire, Congress has to retire you at those higher ranks, or you're retired as an 08. I had a dental practice for 40 years in Brick. Retired 2 years ago. I ran for office originally in 2003. There was a change of government. I had lived in Newark, and I went to dental school in Jersey City, and I saw portions of the ward system that I wasn't happy with. And particularly in Newark, there was a lot of contention between the different wards. The Central Ward would have trouble with the North Ward. Same thing in Jersey City, and it wasn't a very functional government. We had committee forms of government down here, and they were much smaller, 5 committee men. The mayor was a rotating position, and I wasn't sure that the ward system was going to work. So I interviewed for the position. I was selected to run for Ward 3, and I told them at that time, I said, I'm going to represent my constituents, but the overriding concern for me was Toms River, whatever was best for Toms River. It's a unique town. We have 3 high schools. All of those high schools are competitive, but I will tell you that if any one of those high schools is playing in the state tournament, the whole town is behind them. Same thing with the Little League. We have 2 Little Leagues. We sent both of them to Williamsport. The town supported both leagues, not one half of town and the other half. So I see a question coming up. Being a resident of North Dover, how will you help keep our quality of life? We've purchased over the last 2 years roughly 70 acres of open space. We purchased the horse farm on Coxcrow Road. We're in a public-private discussion now with Chariot Riders to see if they would come and reopen that as an equestrian center. We just recently partnered with the county. They purchased the Fleischer Farm on New Hampshire Avenue. It's 10 acres. The land behind that was pasture land for a horse farm, and that we're under discussions now with Fulfill. They're trying to sign a lease with the present owner before she closes with the county, and there'll be an opportunity to grow vegetables there, and that food will then go to Fulfill. So we're preserving the land, preventing further development, because once you preserve land with farmland preservation, it has to stay in perpetuity as farmland. It was a farm assessed property, which worked very well with the farm assessment. It was Q rated. Q rated means that farmland is assessed at a lower rate to encourage farming. So if you have 10 acres of farmland, you might only be assessed $10,000 or $20,000 for the land. Even though the land may be more valuable, they're encouraging farming of that property. We're also, the county, we've sent a couple of resolutions to the county asking them to look at other properties. They have approved for acquisition another 50 acres, and presently they're looking at another 30 acres to investigate for purchase in the future. So we're trying to preserve the open space that we have left in Toms River to keep the quality of life and cut down on some of the development. A lot of the development in the northern section of town is related to COA obligations, which are mandated from the state. We have no control over that. The last round, which was round 3, the state wanted 2,400 units of housing in Toms River. We said no. We petitioned the courts. The courts assigned what's a master or a planner. That planner worked with us, and the settlement was 1,285 homes. More than I would have liked, but half of what the state was originally proposing. So we're trying to also, with the COA units that we've been assigned, everything that we've been assigned through 2025 is either approved, it's under construction, the land has been cleared, or it's been built. So we don't have any more affordable housing obligations till 2025. That's 6 years in advance. And I would hope that going forward in 2025, Toms River will have provided over 3,000 units of affordable housing, and that should fulfill our obligation. I want to see other towns contribute what Toms River has. So those are the items that we're doing to preserve the quality of life in northern section of town. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Jeannette Hoffman. I am here with Councilman Mo Hill, who's running for mayor of Toms River. Mo, thank you so much for having us here in your home today.
Well, thank you very much for coming.
Yeah, well, congratulations on your primary election victory. That was quite a turnout.
Yes, it was. It was. We had 7,500 people turn out to vote for the mayor and council, and that was over 2,000 more votes than the upper part of the ticket. So there was a lot of interest in the race this year. There were 3 candidates, and we're very happy we won.
Yeah,
the whole slate won.
Yeah, and you won in very diverse parts of the community. So that's really exciting for you, I'm sure.
We kind of won all over. We won on the beachfront. We won the northern part. We won downtown. So yes, it was rewarding to see that the support was spread out throughout the whole town, not concentrated in one area.
Now tell me a little bit about yourself and about your background. And I know you've served on council for 4 terms, so that's 16 years. That's quite a record.
Yeah, it is, and I'm happy to have served. I enjoyed serving my community. I also served in the Navy for 35 years. I'm a lifetime resident of Ocean County. I went through the school system here, went through Rutgers, went through the University of Medicine and Dentistry, and then I joined the Navy when I was a freshman in dental school. Went on active duty for 2 years, and then spent a lot of time in the reserves, and then I got recalled for 3 months during Desert Storm. And, retired in 2005 as Rear Admiral Upper Half. That's the highest rank you can get promoted to as an officer because it's board selected. Every promotion above that, 3-star and 4-star, just by the position you hold. So the only permanent rank is 08, Rear Admiral or Major General. So I was very happy to make that promotion, and you don't get there without displaying leadership skills and good judgment.
Welcome back. Ready for the next question. We talked recently about the quality of life in northern section of Toms River. We talked about open space, purchases, and also how we're going to control overdevelopment. Just waiting for the next question to come up. Any minute. Where is it? Should be on the screen here. Again, I think I just want to emphasize that as running for the council in Toms River back in 2004. All right, here's the question. I'm sorry. Can you let people know why you believe you are more qualified for the position than your opponent for mayor of Toms River? I think my experience, my leadership abilities. As I said, I ran in the last segment. I ran for Ward 3 Council in the election in 2003. I took office in 2004. I served 2 terms as Ward 3 councilman. I've been on a number of subcommittees. I was on land use. I was on several committees, public works, and also I've held a number of leadership positions in town. I'm on the Community Medical Center Board of Trustees. I hold a number of positions. there. I'm on the Finance Committee. I'm on the Quality Committee. I'm also on the Credentials Committee. In addition, I serve in the South Jersey Transportation Authority. I'm a commissioner that has control of Atlantic City Airport and the Atlantic City Expressway. So we're dealing with transportation issues in the southern 5 counties of the state. In addition, I also serve on the Ocean County Board of Health, which is responsible for the health of our residents. Recently, you may have heard about the measles epidemic. The Ocean County Health Department was key in controlling that epidemic, making sure that people got vaccines. We had meetings on that. We set up a number of sites for vaccinations. We were on top of that. We also, in addition, I'm very active in my local parish, St. Luke's. I'm a Eucharistic minister. I've also served on the Finance Committee. As a dentist, I had a staff of 5 or 6 people, so I have management skills from that position. And I think the overall leadership that I had from the Navy, you don't get promoted to the rank of Rear Admiral if you don't have leadership skills and you don't follow the Navy code of conduct, which is courage, honor, and commitment. I see there's another question here. Why would you approve building of 500 apartments downtown? Toms River is losing the rural designation that's so desired, it's overcrowded. Recently, the town council or our committee voted to take the red carpet inn down. It was a problem. It was constant source of police calls. There was a lot of opioid situations going on there. We purchased it for $4 million. We tore it down, and we're in the process. We passed a redevelopment area for downtown Toms River. With that building down, if you drive down there now, you have a beautiful view of downtown Toms River and the river. We need to get some people living downtown. The problem is, as the county seat of Ocean County, a lot of people leave at the end of the day at 4:30. We put out an RFP for redevelopment projects, ideas. We had one response from Capodagi. They approached us with 2 different apartment complexes, one of about 160 and one in the neighborhood of maybe 300. These would be located downtown. The apartments are small. They're 800 square feet, 1,000 square feet, so it's 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. They have had experience in Hackensack, which is a county seat just like Toms River. They've also had experience in Bound Brook and in Linden. And they have done projects around transportation centers. The only transportation center we have in Toms River is our bus station. These 2 projects will be located 2 blocks away from that township, that bus station. Their targeted group are millennials and empty nesters. They've found that millennials like to live in smaller apartments. They want nightlife, so if we get people living downtown, it's going to generate more business. We're looking for more restaurants downtown. We're looking for people to live and work and stay in downtown Toms River. And the millennials and senior citizens that are empty nesters, these are the people that the Capodagi group has had success with. We saw a project up in Hackensack, and that demographic was what we saw living in the apartments. They were young millennial families, husband and wife, maybe 1 child, or older empty nester senior citizens. With that population downtown and the millennials living downtown and commuting into the city or whatever, they are different. They don't want to cook at home. They'd like to go out to a restaurant. They want to go to a club, and that would stimulate the growth downtown for more restaurants, more clubs, more bars, and I think that would stimulate the commerce in downtown Toms River and would also stimulate more jobs. So it's not an overdevelopment, but I think it's a redevelopment. That's what we have to understand. It's not going to be 1,000 units of housing down there. So again, I thank you for the question.
Can you address the issue of taxes in Toms River?
Well, for the last 3 years, we haven't had an increase, and that's been difficult in this economic environment. As we said, the school system has already suffered a $2.5 or $2.7 million loss this year. Next year, it's supposed to go up to $4 million. So, you know, it's going to be difficult for them to manage their finances. We've been lucky so far to be able to keep that tax rate. We're going to strive, like I said, with the increased efficiencies. If we change over the LED bulbs, if we get this energy from the solar farm credits, that'll pay down some of our electric bills. And you know, we're going to look at it, like I said, increased efficiencies throughout the township, so that we can partner with other towns in the county and probably do shared services. Hopefully, keep costs down of the government.
Thank you. Welcome back. Before we take the next question, there's one issue I'd like to address, which is near and dear to my heart, and that's school funding. I'm invested in this community. I have 2 daughters that are married. I have 4 grandchildren that live in the area. 3 of them presently go to school. One's in pre-K. She's going to probably start next year. And it concerns me that we've lost $2.7 million in state aid. There were 2 rallies in Trenton. I attended both of those. At the second rally, I had a chance to address the community. I will tell you that Toms River Regional presently gets about 26% of their funding from state aid. We have over 15,000 students. We educate them at one of the cheapest rates in the state, and they took $2.7 million from the Toms River Regional Schools, which, if you read the literature, it was 77 teachers and staff positions. What does that mean? It means bigger class size. It means there are going to be less coaches, less teachers for the extracurricular activities. You need a well-balanced education, which is not only academic, it can be athletic, it can be in the arts and sciences and music. There are a lot of clubs that meet after school that are going to be short-staffed this year. The Trenton School District and the Camden School District both have less students by 2,000 or 3,000 students. They both receive more in state aid than the entire Toms River regional budget. And they're receiving 80 to 85% of their funding for their schools from the state. So that means that the Toms River residents not only paying 75% of their taxes for their own schools, they're paying 85% of the taxes for Camden and Trenton. There is presently a bill, an emergency funding bill, on the governor's desk to restore some of that funding to Toms River Regional Schools. I've been told it's $2.5 million. It's been on his desk for over three weeks now. I call on Governor Murphy to sign it. If you read in the paper recently, he funded $3.8 million in scholarships for unauthorized students, yet he's withholding money from the children and grandchildren of tax-paying Toms River residents. And I see we have another question up. It's a sad state forcing Toms River to build affordable housing. Why does all this happen to happen along the Route 9 corridor? Why isn't the state responsible for expanding Route 9? It's a dangerous road. I agree with you 100%. That's a state road. They have never addressed it. As I said, I've spent my entire life in Ocean County. They expanded Route 9 into Monmouth County. It ends right at the Howell-Lakewood border, which is the beginning of Ocean County. If you look at the roads in Ocean County, the only divided highways go basically from the Parkway to the beachfront. You've got Route 70 that runs from the Garden State Parkway to Point Pleasant. You've got Route 37 that runs from the Garden State Parkway out to the Barrier Island, and you've got Route 72 that runs to Long Beach Island. If you go west on Route 37 or west on 72 or west on 70, those roads go back to a 2-lane road within 2 or 3 miles. They've never properly addressed Route 9, and that's been my argument. Why do they put affordable housing in an area where, number one, they don't have the transportation infrastructure? The only railroad serving Ocean County ends in Bay Head. To get to that from Toms River takes you 45 minutes. We don't have railroads in Ocean County. We have bus service out of Toms River, and that's about it. Everybody has to travel on the roads. If you go on the Garden State Parkway in the morning, it's bumper-to-bumper traffic from 82 until you get north of Brick Township. We met when Mayor Brush was the mayor of town. We went up and met with the Department of Transportation. We asked about Route 9 widening. They do have a plan that dates back to the late 1980s, but they've never acted on it. the off-the-cuff response that was given to me by a NJDOT member was that they get more votes paving a mile of road in North Jersey than they do anything in South Jersey. And that's just wrong. Don't give me the excuse that it's going to cost money. You need to fix the problem. There are 600,000 residents living in Ocean County that should expect to have decent state roads to travel on. That's not the case in Toms River. If you drive in Toms River, people stay off of Route 9. They go on to Whitesville. They go on to Cox Crow Road. They go on to Vermont. They go on to New Hampshire. Those are supposed to be secondary roads. Route 9 is supposed to be the primary road. If you've driven on that recently, it's falling apart. If it's not fixed soon, the road's going to be destroyed. You can't travel on it. The state, in addition, the COA problems and the development in the northern part of town, the state has given no consideration to where the jobs are. 55% of the people in Ocean County commute outside the county for their job. So why are you putting affordable housing in Toms River and Ocean County when people have to get in their car and drive to their job? Why not locate that affordable housing where there's transportation infrastructure? Near a railroad, near a large highway, near bus terminals. We don't have that in Toms River. We have one bus terminal and that's it. So again, the state has burdened Toms River with these affordable units without providing the infrastructure to handle the traffic that's generated by these affordable units. And as I said, people are commuting outside the town. Thank you.
And unfortunately, we've seen
it?
some anti-Semitic rhetoric
There's one
and
more
some
segment?
very divisive mail pieces already in this campaign. How do you respond to that?
Well, I haven't responded, and I'm not going to respond to it because it's demeaning to our community. We have an inclusive community. We have a diverse community. Why would we want to separate that? And why would we want to divide either religions or ethnicity against one another and play people for votes? That's just counterintuitive. If you're going to be the mayor of the town, if you're going to be a councilman in this town, you represent everybody. You don't pick and choose who you're going to represent. And I was that way in the service. I've been that way on the council. I didn't pick anybody based on their faith or their race. In the military, I haven't granted any favors to anybody in the township. You play by the rules. The rules are the codes and laws that we have in this municipality, and we enforce those. But you represent everybody in the community. And if there are concerns of one community, I'm going to meet with them, I'm going to discuss it and see if we can resolve those issues. But nobody gets a special favor. Nobody gets granted any special consideration. If you're the mayor of the whole town.
No, I'm not. Welcome back. Waiting for the next question. I want to just let you know that I'm running with 3 other running mates for council. Matt Latano, who's a commercial redeveloper in town with his father Gary Latano Redevelopment. Josh Kopp, who has a electrical company. They're very big in solar energy. We have, as a matter of fact, tonight we have an application coming before our planning board with a large solar farm. Matt is the corporate knowledge to address that, and he's going to be going to the meeting tonight. And there are questions we want to ask. We'd like to see if we couldn't buy some of the power off of that grid. The third running mate with me is Kevin Gagan, who's a retired police officer. Kevin's active in EMS. He's very active in the Silverton Fire Department and also the Silverton First Aid Squad. I see I have a question here. I heard you got a donation of $2,600 from Scott Gardner. That is true. Scott Gardner is a neighbor of mine. He's an Orthodox neighbor. I've visited with him a number of times. He called me up. He wanted to support my campaign. He's a supporter of mine. And I am going to be the mayor of the entire town. I'm not going to pick and choose who I'm going to be the mayor of. Scott's a neighbor. He offered to give me a donation. I graciously accepted it. When I ran in the primary, you may have read, I had very little funding. Nobody would contribute to me for fear of being ostracized if I lost. So I got very little money, very little funding, and Scott was a contributor. I'll also tell you there were other contributors that gave me $2,600, and that's all been reported to ELECT. I had a patient of mine give me $2,600. My brother gave me $2,600. I mean, I received money from a number of very generous donors in order to get the word out in our primary campaign. Listen, politics is a bruising business. I'm finding it out now in the general election. The primary election was brutal. This election proves to be even more brutal. I will tell you that having played 8 years of college and high school football as a lineman prepares you well for politics. I didn't get this nose by accident. It was broken. So I'm used to taking blows, and I'm used to rolling with the punches. And I would not reject a donation from anybody. If they want to contribute to my campaign, I'm very honored. To me, it tells me that they believe in me. They believe in my honesty and integrity. I have never done a special favor for anybody, whether they're a donor or not. I don't bend the rules for anybody. That goes to my core belief. Again, if you served in the Navy for as many years as I did, courage, honor, and commitment are part of the way you lead your life. Honesty and integrity. I don't compromise my values for anybody. I've represented this town as a ward councilman and as a councilman at large to the best of my ability. I've always done what's right for the town. You may not believe the way I've voted. You may not agree with me. If you want to have a discussion with me, call me. Send me your phone number on an email. I will call you. I'm available. I don't hide from anything. So if you have a question, you want to speak to me, send me your phone number. My cell number is on my business card down at Town Hall. You can give me a call. I'd be glad to speak to anybody. Again, when you're the mayor of Toms River, you don't pick and choose who you're the mayor of. You're the mayor of the entire town. We have a very diverse community, which is great. I mean, I think that's the strength of a community, quite frankly. We had a festival, TR United Festival, 2 weeks ago. It was a wonderful event. We had different nationalities, we had different religions. It was a wonderful event, and it was a great day. And again, the diversity of the community is the strength of this community. Thank you. Do we have another question coming up, or?
Hello, my name's Mo Hill. I'm running for mayor of Toms River on the Republican ticket, row A. You can count on me to preserve the quality of life in Toms River. We're going to look to preserve open space in Toms River. We're also going to strictly enforce all our building and zoning codes. And we're going to look to keep taxes low with shared services and increased efficiencies in Town Hall.
Good evening. We're about ready to wrap up right now. What I'd like to do is ask for your support. I appreciate the questions that we've had. Again, I've been honest on a lot of these issues. I've been very forthright. I would appreciate it if you have any questions, please reach out and call me. You can get in touch with me via an email. And as I said, if you're more comfortable speaking on the phone, we can speak on the phone. I hope going forward that you will vote for us on row A. Again, I think we have the experienced team. As I said, we've got a number of people on the team that I think are very energetic. Matt and Josh are very young. I like to say they're the face for TV, and Kevin and I are the face for radio. So, you know, we have a good group. I think there's a nice blend of experience and youth, and I think that's the wave of the future. Matt and Josh will be leading this town after I retire, and I have every confidence that it'll lead it in the right direction. We still going there? I appreciate all the questions, and I look forward to seeing you again at a future meeting at 7 o'clock next Wednesday. Thank you very much.
Mo, tell me about your plans for the VA in Toms River.
Well, right now the process is going on for the selection of the site. There are 3 sites in Ocean County. We're one of the 3. I think it's the best site in Ocean County. If we can position this so that it's on Hooper Avenue, which is a major county highway. It's also served by NJ Transit bus service, which is another plus. They'll front on Hooper Avenue. It's a signalized intersection already. There's already a traffic light there. We're going to move a fire station to the back, so we'll have fire service there. If the post office agrees to move, they're going to be in the back. So you've got, the vets can go there for medical treatment. They can also go for any of the social services to the Ocean County Social Services buildings, which are right next door. They can also go to the post office. And behind that, there's a proposal for a 45 unit apartment building, which would be preference for veterans. So again, I think that's a home run. We're going to move our fire station to the back. Right now, it's just a fire annex. When we move it to the back, we'll be able to expand that. Again, maybe move some of our EMS ambulances in there, along with some of our fire apparatus, so we can have shared services there. I think the whole site just is a tremendous boon to the economy, to our tax base, and I think it provides a great service for our veterans and also for the residents of the town. If the post office locates out there, it's more centrally located in town. It's going to make their mail distribution more effective. It's going to allow the residents from the entire town to get down there and use the post office. Right now we have one substation in Silverton. We may have one out on Route 70, and the main post office is downtown, right at the Toms River, South Toms River border. So to get out in the northern section where I live, can take those trucks half an hour to 40 minutes. So it slows down the delivery. But we've got so many positives on that site. And I feel strongly, I'm waiting with my fingers crossed that they'll select the site. And hopefully soon. We'd like to see it happen sooner rather than later.
Well, I can